If he's not here, the next to interpolate is Congressman Adiong.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'd like to direct my questions to General Manager Garma. Ma'am, you mentioned earlier as your response to Congressman Pimentel that there was a mass procurement of pickups, no? Kung saan isa sa mga pickup doon namatay si General Barayuga. Tama po ba yun?
Yan ang pagkakaalam ko sa noong time na yun, Mr. Chair, na may mga nabili at for issuance po.
Okay. So, tanong ko lang po as a general manager, would you have an access to the type of vehicles and plate numbers of all those all those units that have already been procured? May access po kayo dito sa information?
Lahat po ng information sa PCS, so I can have an access because
Okay.
I'm the GM, Mr. Chair.
So, ito pong trabaho na to, when you assign the units or the vehicles to each individual member, board members, and including the board secretary, hindi naman po ito kailangan ng en-bank resolution, no? Or any resolution from your side, no? Administrative po ito, tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Your
So
Honor.
pag na-assign po ba itong mga vehicles na ito, would you of course being a manager and this is administrative, of course it requires your signature and your approval, hindi ho ba?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Your Honor.
So ibig sabihin po, Mr. Chair, yung sasakyan na na-assign kay Attorney Barayuga ay na-approve niyo po, no? In-approve niyo yung pag-distribute itong sasakyan at pag-assign doon
Yes
sa
po,
mga
as recommended by the logistics officer. Yes
as
po.
recommended by no? Okay. Nung nangyari po yung namatay si General Barayuga at nalaman po ninyo, ano po yung una yung naging direktiba? Ano po yung response ninyo as a PCSO manager? Of course, sabi niyo po, wala naman po kayong napag-awayan. According to your testimony, maganda nga po yung relasyon nyo at nagtataka po kayo dahil mabait na tao siya. Ano po yung unang-unang yung ginawa hakbang bilang isang PCSO manager, general manager, na namatayan po kayo ng miyembro ng board?
Nagulat pa ako. I think I made a report to the chair. I cannot recall. I made a report. And then, inalam ko po kung, kasi inimbestigahan na yun, inalam ko po kung pandemic kasi ho, mahirap gumalaw, inalam ko na lang po after na nagkaroon ng crime scene investigation, inalam ko po kung saan po siya dinala.
Inalam
si
ko-
si Board Secretary Barayuga, inalam ko po because during that time, pandemic yun, ako lang po ata I was in the office kasi noon nalaman ko, so inalam ko kung saan siya para ma-facilitate po yung ano po.
Okay. Gusto ko lang pong tanungin si Colonel Sante Mendoza. Sa salaysay niyo po, nasabi niyo, tinawagan po kayo ni Colonel Leonardo, hindi ho ba?
Opo.
At sa salaysay niyo din po, sinabi po ninyo na nagkaroon kayo ng alinlangan doon sa sinabi po sa inyo na patay, no? Yung isang nagngangalang Attorney Barayuga. Tama po ba yon?
Yes, Your Honor.
At sabi mo, natatakot ka dahil ito ay isang opisyal ng gobyerno at hindi mo alam yung kanyang background. So magkakaroon ka muna ng sarili mong, parang gagawa ka muna ng sarili mong surveillance. Tama po ba yon?
You have to get your own information for the subject, Your Honor. Hindi po yung magso-surveillance.
Ay, ano pa ba yung sabi? Kasi wala sa akin, nasa akin kasi na yung kanina yung ano mo eh. Pero let me just to paraphrase, no? I'm just trying to understand. Based on your salaysay, ang sabi niyo po is, magkakaroon muna ka, natatakot nga ho kayo, di ba? Dahil isang opisyal ang hindi niyo kilala at humihingi kayo ba ng oras para, ano po yung hinihingi niyo na oras?
To verify the
To verify, tama. Not to
information, sir.
Yes, stand corrected. To verify. At nasabi din po ni Colonel Leonardo na na-assign na, alam na yung sasakyan, ibibigay na sa inyo yung sasakyan, hindi ba? Parang identified na kung ano yung sasakyan niya dahil inassign ito kay Attorney Barayuga. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. In addition to that, binigay niya po yung sasakyan na yan, pati yung driver, during the time of yung umaga po nung July 30, 2020 po.
At sinabi po din ni Colonel, according to your salaysay, sinabi ni Colonel Leonardo sa iyo na yung sasakyan identified na anong sasakyan ni Attorney Barayuga. Ito'y isang pick-up na puti with plate number, etc. etc. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Na na-identify ito, na na-assign ni General Manager Garma doon sa board secretary niya, which in this case, yung namatay nga, or pinaslang, na si Attorney Barayuga. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. The reason why I'm stating this, Mr. Chair, is that based on the earlier in questioning of Congressman Pimentel, parang ang position po ng ni Colonel Garma is that una, hindi niya alam yung may nag-mass procure, and number two, hindi niya directly na inassign yung sasakyan dahil according lang yun sa recommendation ng isang division o opisina. But we have proven here, Mr. Chair, that he has the power to either reject or to reshuffle or not to approve the assignment of each vehicle to each of the board members who will be receiving this vehicle as part of their official transport. So, Mr. Chair, this actually corroborates, Mr. Chair, for me, at least for this representation, corroborates, Mr. Chair, the testimony of Mr. Mendoza as to the establishment of the fact that indeed it was made easier for the hitman to identify where General Barayuga would be riding in. Kung anong type na sasakyan, anong plate number, etc. Which actually materialized yung assassination po na ginawa kay General Barayuga. Now, I'd like to ask po, Mr. Chair, if we have the PNP, yung nag-iimbestiga po dito sa kaso na ito. May I ask... wait lang. No. I'd like to ask, Mr. Chair, Colonel Hansel Marantan. Nandito po ba siya? Wala ba siya dito? Sino po yung in charge doon sa sa investigation? CIDG.
Mr. Chair, sir.
Sino bang in charge doon, Mr. Chair? Sir.
So, for information, sir, Colonel Marantan was then the chief of NCRFU,
Yeah,
and he
Just read
was
the name wrong.
then the head of the SITG of CIDG in the Barayuga case.
Okay. Gusto ko lang pong malaman, based doon sa, kasi dito po sa nasubmit po sa COMSEC namin na investigation, ang sinabi po dito ay the facts of the case, no? Sinabi dito is, this pertains to the continuation of the investigation being conducted. So, tama ho ba ang pagkaintindi ko na wala pa pong resolution nitong kaso na ito?
Yes, sir. This case was never terminated, and we are still waiting for new evidence to surface, sir.
Oo. So, ayun po sa rekomendasyon ninyo, no? Ang sinasabi niyo po ay the recommendations is that it should continue on to conduct an in-depth investigation on the alleged na sinabing involvement of the late Attorney Wesley Barayuga doon po sa sinasabi ninyong previous na assignment na when he was Chief of Police of Iloilo City. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, sir. That was the recommendation before of the head of SITG,
So, my
Police
question,
Colonel Marantan.
my question, Mr. Chair, is what made PNP conclude that the murder of Tony Barayuga was related to his former assignment?
I was then Mr. Chair, sir, I was then the Chief of Staff of CIDG, and I have heard that, some what have been stated during the case conferences that
No, my question is very simple po, no? What made you conclude that this investigation that you recommend has something to do with his previous assignment? Bakit yun lang yung angling nyo, Mr. Chair? At
Mr.
hindi nyo tiningnan yung mga possible other motives.
that was one of the recommended actions,
Why?
possible motives, sir, because the investigators was then looking into the angle that Brigadier General Wesley Barayuga was involved in illegal drugs.
Yeah, but again, based on the evidences that we have gathered, there was no cases filed against him. Was there any case filed administratively or otherwise before the assassination took place?
No case filed, sir, but
See?
there was another recommendation, sir, that to look into the result of the filing of cases of the NBI against PCSC officials.
Maybe it has something to do with the STL as earlier mentioned. No?
Yes, sir, that was one of-
But hindi nyo po, Mr. Chair, but hindi ko tinignan ng PNP yun as one of the motive or angle for the assassination of General Barayuga, because that's the only recommendation you have here according to your finding. And yet you're saying maybe it has something to do with his previous assignment, when in fact you admitted that there's no case filed against General Barayuga when he was then the City Police Director of Iloilo, that may have something to do with selling of illegal drugs. Then why suddenly you jump on that conclusion and maybe zeroing in that kind of angle? Bakit po?
Mr. Chair, sir, in the investigation report that was submitted by Colonel Marantan, sa paragraph 15, he mentioned that they're asking for the minutes regarding the 3 PCSO board meetings attended by Attorney Barayuga.
Yung sinabi niyo pong meron po kayong continuing investigation, would you still be open to other possibility of investigating the possible motive? Or do you still stick to this motive, investigating this previous allegation, yung previous assignment niya? Dahil wala kayong, I don't think there will be any basis and reference for you to continue on investigating his previous assignment kasi you yourself would nag-admit na wala nga talaga kayong wala nga kaso na na-file against him. Would you still open to any further investigation, like probably looking at the possible involvement of STL suspension?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think that is another angle that has to be pursued.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to go back to Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair. Colonel Garma, you said
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, with the indulgence of the Honorable Adiong,
yes, of course.
may I ask ikaw bang SITG ko head?
No, sir, I represent, sir, the Director CIDG, Police Brigadier General
Ang
Nicolas
sinabi
Torres,
po
sir.
ninyo, kasagutan nyo kay Honorable Adiong, ang number one na theory ninyo kung bakit pinatay si Wesley Barayuga is he is connected with illegal drugs. Would that be correct? Narinig ko ba yun ng tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair, sir. That was the one of the recommendations, sir, of
I
Colonel
agree.
Maranda,
But
sir.
what is the basis of that recommendation?
In the initial investigation that was conducted, sir, we found out that the victim, General Barayuga, was listed in the watch list of illegal drugs.
Oh, sige, magdidebate tayo mamaya.
But that was
When
just
my
an
time
angle,
comes,
sir.
magdidebate tayo mamaya. Sinisiguro ko lang na yun ang statement mo. Kasi the PDEA is here. And I think he will refute your statement. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, just an inquiry. Colonel, have you taken your oath?
Yes, sir, during the previous hearing, sir.
Previous hearing. Now, kanina kasi sinabi mo si Colonel, sino bang head nung SITG that time?
Police Colonel Hansel Marantan, sir.
Oh, hindi mo alam Colonel Grialdo? Tinanong kita kanina?
Yes, sir. The case is under. I ordered.
Hindi, ang tanong ko lang sinong head. Di ba hindi mo sinagot?
Yes, I answered, Mr. Chair.
Na si Colonel Marantan?
Colonel Wilson Lopez.
Oh, ba't si Colonel Marantan daw? Who's telling the truth?
Sir,
Yes, Colonel David Puklay.
Sir, the SITG of CIDG was created after, I think, the Eastern Police District passed the case to the CIDG, sir. And
Okay,
that's why
so-
we created another SITG, sir, purposely to continue the investigation.
Okay, now it's clear. 6 months after, nung inilipat na yung investigation sa CIDG. Tama?
Mr. Chair, sir, we activated the SITG last September 13, 2022.
2022.
Yes, sir.
Oh, ba't sabi kanina ni Colonel Grialdo 6 months after? And that incident happened 2020. Paki-check nyo nga yung records nyo. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, paki-clear lang po yung mga records nyo kasi may itatanong din si Chairman ako at saka ako tungkol dun sa SITG. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, please proceed. You have 1 minute, Congressman Adiong.
Thank you. I'll just wrap up na lang po, Mr. Chair. No? Kasi what is strange to me, Mr. Chair, is that in the crime scene, when it was investigated, the Honda car that was, yung nasa Honda po sa harap, it was identified, the motorcycles were identified, the driver was identified, may mga CCTV tayo na nakuha, and all those bystanders who saw the incident were identified, pero ang hindi na-identify, Mr. Chair, and it has been going on for 4 years, is the possible motive, for example, and why up to now, it has been remained unresolved for 4 years now. So, which actually leads me to probably my assumption, Mr. Chair, that the drug war at that time was made as a reference, as an excuse, probably for any individual who may be holding possible high office to use that as a pretense to probably to get back on somebody na with personal vendetta, na meron silang personal vendetta. That's actually the thing that I have in mind, Mr. Chair. That's why I'd like to ask Mr. Chair, Attorney Conti, no? Attorney Conti, dahil itong mga operation sa drug war na to, Attorney, you've heard about the salaysay, no? The affidavits of our witnesses here, Colonel Mendoza and Mr. Mariano, no? Would you think that their testimonies have some semblance, no? Or may have corroborate the findings of your own investigation insofar as the EJK is concerned, no? Based on your based on the findings that you did during those times, would you say that based on their testimonies, it may have similarities that this committee might say na may system talaga, may pattern talaga na itong drug war nung nakaraang administrasyon ay nagagamit ito para rampant yung pagpatay hindi lang dun sa mga small scale, small time na mga pushers on the street, but even this is also being used as a way to advance personal vendetta and then take down those personalities na ayaw nila or ayaw nilang makita or ayaw gumalaw o ayaw maipangbestigan na certain activity na makakasira sa kanila. Mr. Chair, Your Honors, if I may allow, if Ms. Attorney Conti may be allowed to respond to that question.
Yes, Your Honor. Specifically as to the circumstance of riding in tandem killing. So ito po yung katulad ng nakita po natin. It jives with the observations and statements of our witnesses who have been victimized by this kind of modus operandi. That one, the perpetrator rarely is identified and even years after. So kahit po maraming witnesses na nakakita, walang makaka-identify, walang makaka-describe sa pumatay mismo. Second, and therefore you would have no case moving forward. Second, that the cases would likely be archived, sent to cold cases ang tawag po nila, at hindi na po mababalikan. And our theory is that either the police are coddling the perpetrators themselves, kumbaga protektado po nila yung pumatay, yung umalis. Or second, it's the police themselves who are the killers. That is our perception from the ground. And this modus operandi, Your Honors, is not only particular to the war on drugs, it's also applicable to any other politically motivated or any such motivated killings, even in the killings of activists. Ito na po ang modus operandi talaga. Basta po tinawag na enemy of the state. And during the time of Duterte, all drug addicts, all drug pushers, all those related to the drug trade, quote unquote, were called enemies of the state. In fact, Your Honor, if I may just add, as related to parang yung kaaway po na kung sino mang nasa posisyon, posible po yun. And we thought that the narco